welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another one of my videos today. So today I want to talk about the power of intention and being present in your life, because this is a big theme in my life right now, and I'm always someone who is like, right, bring it to the table. Let's have a conversation about this, because if it can help me, then it can absolutely help you guys as well. And I feel like this year, 2020, has just been such an anxiety-driven year where we've been forced to slow down, to reflect, to speed up, to be overworked. You know, we've put so much pressure on ourselves this year to just be coping, just to be navigating this, because, you know, it's been such an uncertain year. And when there is uncertainty and when there is anxiety, and even collective anxiety as well, like, we all feel it. We all feel that pressure, that anxiety, as well as all the beautiful lessons that have come from 2020. So what do I mean by being intentional and present then? So we know what intention means in terms of setting an intention with the law of attraction, and, you know, like setting an intention, having an intention, like you may be aware and already do that, of bringing an intention to your day. Maybe it's in meditation in the morning, you set an intention or an affirmation. Maybe it's you do some journaling and do the same. Maybe it's writing a goals list. Like, we're all used to setting intentions, but how often do we bring that intention to everything we do within our day? Because we live in a world where technology rules, where there are so many distractions, and we live in a fast-paced world where everything feels busy, where like everything demands our attention. And how often are we truly intentional and present with everything we do, whether it's folding the laundry or washing the dishes or walk out in nature? Like, are you truly being present and intentional? The answer is probably no, because mine was definitely no. You might like put some intention into some things like yoga, when I do my yoga practice daily or every other day, depending, you know, I'm very intentional with that. I'll bring the intention, I'll bring the space, and that's the most relaxed I feel. That's the most calmest I feel. And I love the feeling of after doing yoga, because I feel at peace, I feel grounded and centered, and that's because I bring the presentness and I bring the intention. So recently I was feeling like very overwhelmed in like every area of my life, especially work, and I think that's come with like deep lessons from Mercury retrograde, deep introspection, deep reflection, and also just reevaluating what my next moves are and then actioning those. So it has felt like October definitely felt like a really overwhelming month for me. And I realized as I was having like self-reflection upon myself of, you're not present with anything at the moment. Like, you're in your masculine energy, you're just autopiloting, trying to like get everything done, stay on top of everything, and you don't need to do that. And I realized that I really wanted to soften, and I really wanted to flow into my feminine energy more. And I was like, how have I got to this stage? What happened? Like, I'm so good at being on top of my feminine and my masculine energy normally. And if you don't know about divine feminine, divine masculine energy, every single human being has both within them, and it's important that we keep it balanced. I've done videos and blog posts and even podcasts on this before, so please go and check them out if you want to learn more about that. But for me, it was a big realization of, you need to soften, allow flow, and what is stopping me from doing that. And I realized, you know, like even having conversations with friends and loved ones, like I wasn't bringing the intention, I wasn't bringing the true presentness and showing up as my best self, because I was just not really there, but not really there in like all areas, where I was just feeling overwhelmed, stressed, and I had taken the inspired action by hiring and taking on new team members to support me, to help me, so that I don't have to have the weight of the world on my shoulders, especially in work. So it's like they're all there, but it's then allowing yourself and giving yourself permission to create that space. So what I want to do with you guys today in this video is give you some tips on how to like soften into that feminine energy. If you feel like you're controlling, because I definitely was, if you feel like you're controlling, you feel that you're in that rigid masculine energy, you're feeling overwhelmed, probably burnt out as well, and not bringing intention or presentness to anything. If this resonates with you, we need to get in our feminine energy. So this is what this is going to help you to do. So the word soften, and this video can absolutely apply to men as well, because men, and even if you identify yourself as a woman, or however you identify yourself, we all have masculine and feminine energy within us, that divine masculine and feminine energy. So first of all, ask yourself, what does the word soften mean to you? Before I did my divine feminine work, I definitely would my skin would crawl at the sound of softening. I was like, oh no, that's not for me. But after doing my divine feminine work over the last year and a half, which you see echoed throughout Positively Wealthy, my book as well, it allowed me to soften into that balanced place where the masculine energy was balanced, the feminine energy was balanced, and I was able to not be reactive, not have to control. I was able to surrender, I was able to flow, I was able to soften and be held, held by the universe, held by the people around me. And that's such an important thing when we look at being intentional and look at being truly present, is surrendering. It is surrendering to that now, to that present moment, and saying, this activity, this practice, this person I'm speaking to, whatever, you have my full attention. I am giving you intention, I am giving you my energy, and I am giving you my presentness. And how often can we say we truly do that? Are you someone who sits on the sofa and sits on your phone while you're having a conversation with someone? Even when you're on the phone, are you doing something on your phone at the same time? When you're doing something for work, are you truly present and mindful with that? Or is your mind elsewhere? Are you distracted by your phone? And I definitely know my phone is my worst culprit, because it's so easy, when you have work on there and distractions, at the end of the day, it's distractions which are keeping us scattered. And I definitely witnessed that my energy was scattered, and that's not me. I'm not someone who has scattered energy. I'm someone who really wants to give whoever I'm in the room with, or whoever I'm on the phone to, or whatever I'm doing, I want to give that person my energy. And I definitely feel because of just the themes of 2020 and how much stress and anxiety has been put on all of us as a collective, and just how uncertain things have been, naturally we want to go into that masculine energy that has control, that is searching for that control and that stability, and that energy of feeling in control. And that's where we go wrong. That's where we don't soften, and we harden up, and then we get into this spiral where we're not being truly intentional and present, which makes us future trip. It makes us past trip. When we're in that controlling nature, we're not happy, we're not free flowing, we're not our best selves. We're future tripping, we're controlling, and we're spiraling most of the time, because we're trying to keep a hold and trying to stay afloat. And it's overwhelming, and that's what can lead to that overwhelmed feeling. That's what can lead to a lot of unhappiness within yourself. So the reason why I feel it's so important to soften is to think about what softening means to you. So is that by allowing yourself to be held? Is that by trusting? Is that by surrendering? Is that by bringing intention and presentness? There are so many ways to soften. Maybe that's doing some practices, maybe that's breath work, yoga. Everybody will be different and have different techniques and practices and tools that will allow them to soften. So those are the things that I do, but for you personally, it might be grounding, it might be meditating, it might be, meditating definitely allows me to soften as well. There are so many things that can bring our intention and bring our presentness through that softening and through that divine surrender into the feminine energy. Now, traditionally, intention is a masculine trait, but I do feel intention is good, because if you can bring your intention to the table of, for these 5 minutes, I am eating my breakfast, or brushing my hair, doing my makeup, whatever it is, that is going to have my full intention. What can I notice? What can I witness? So although it is the masculine energy that brings that intention to the table, by having that intention and reminding yourself of this, it will balance that feminine energy by allowing you to fully give yourself to that moment. So when I was writing a blog post yesterday, I noticed that I was getting distracted, and I was throwing my phone across the room, stop, you're writing a blog post about being intentional and you're not even being intentional. So catch yourself with this. Witnessing it is the first step. Witnessing it, creating the space. So maybe that's putting your phone away, locking your phone away, having no distractions, truly giving yourself to whatever you're doing, activity, practice, whatever, conversation, truly giving yourself to that moment and focusing on one thing at a time, not 20 things like I am very guilty of doing. So work with that, create the space. So maybe that's scheduling time out each week for self-love, self-care, for intention. Maybe it's scheduling time out to do some yoga, going for a walk. Creating the space is the first step, because when you create the space, you allow the universe to meet you halfway and you're saying, look, I'm committing to this. I'm ready for this. I want to be intentional and present and feel that peace. And when we can be intentional and present with our life, miracles happen, because we're in that stream of abundance. We're in that stream of flowing. We're in that stream of trust. We're in that stream of alignment and peace. And when we feel peace, joy, and happiness, those are the biggest energies that help us to manifest our desires, because we're coming from a true, aligned, intentional, present space, not a stressed, anxious, future trippy space, which is just being reflected back to us. Look at that divine mirror. What you are showing up into the mirror as is being reflected back to you, whether that's in your relationships, your friendships, your family, whether that's in work, whether that is just in circumstances being reflected back to you. Everything is a mirror. So look at that. Look at where you can show up better. If you want something or someone to show up better, do it. Look in the mirror and there's your clue, as I say. So, you know, and obviously there's exceptions to that, but, you know, as a generalized term, you know, you can normally find that mirror, that inner work, through looking at your outer experiences and seeing where you feel unhappy or disconnected or frustrated. How can you show up better? You have to make the first move and the universe will meet you there. And that's how you create the space, and that's how you bring the intention. So softening, creating the space, bringing the intention, and really over anything, it's consistency with this. Creating a practice. So whether that is doing a daily practice, maybe it's taking some mindful moments to do some gratitude, to do some breath work, to do some meditation or yoga. Like, invite those softening, intentional practices into your day, into your week, to help to cultivate that. Now, every day is not going to be an intentional, positive, graceful, easy day. We live in a life where there are stresses, where there are things that need our attention. And sometimes it's just not possible to be fully intentional and present with every single little task we're doing. But try it, because the more you commit to it and the more you invite it in, it will feel more natural. And then it won't be so much of an intentional task. You will just be doing it through consistency and through habit. So the more that you can, you know, when you're brushing your teeth, stop thinking about other things and just focus on your teeth. How grateful are you for your great teeth? Like, how grateful are you for the fact that you're able to brush your teeth, the clean water? You know, it's quite a gratitude-y practice intention as well, because it's really just bring the focus to that person, that thing, that practice, that activity that you're doing. Maybe it's a work task. Like, giving yourself fully to something in that moment is amazing, because when you do that, like, I found I'm so much more productive, which was definitely a shock horror to me that I was more productive by being intentional, but it meant that I had more fun. And when you bring fun to the table, that's a magnet for abundance, that's a magnet for manifestation. And also it's allowing ourselves to just be happy, be intentional. And like, when you enrich and nurture the relationships around you, the people around you, and give yourself, like, you have to think about it like the garden, or like I say in Positively Wealthy, look at the garden of life. If you are watering all these little facets of your garden, it's going to be flourishing, it's going to be thriving, it's going to be blooming. But that takes intention, that takes action, that takes intention, and that takes softening and surrendering to nature, and knowing that those plants you're nurturing and relationships, whatever you want to give in your analogies here, are flourishing because you're giving them the energy, your presentness, where you're not just like mindlessly watering or mindlessly doing things. You're mindfully watering, you're mindfully fertilizing that ground, meaning that those plants have the best opportunities and trees, etc., in the garden to flourish, to bloom. And you're going to feel more rewarded by that as well, because you will know that your intention and your presentness with that process has allowed those things to blossom and be even more beautiful, because you're intentional with that too. So you're intentional in taking in the beauty of the garden that you've cultivated. So the more that you are intentional and purposeful and present, it's going to magnify back to you in every area where people will give you that, and where work will give you that, and you're having more joy and fun because you are there. You're not autopiloting, you're not stressing or just overwhelmed and coping. You're there, you're intentional, and you're present. And it's a freeing feeling, I have to tell you. It's great. So challenge yourself with this. I'm challenging myself to it, so come and join me. Let's challenge ourselves and hold ourselves accountable here of making sure that every single thing in your day you are intentional with. Put your phone away. Yes, our phones are distractions. Yes, technology is a distraction, of course. We can't get around that. But when you're using it, whether it's for work or personal use, that has your intention and your presentness. But when you don't need to, when you're doing something and you're getting a text or a notification, stop, put it down. It will be there later. It's not going anywhere. You know, bring your intention and your purpose and your presentness, even when you're on your phone interacting, texting people, responding, replying, whatever it is. Still be intentional with that, but don't get distracted, because distraction is what stops us from all these beautiful feelings, for all these beautiful things in life that can be ours, but we have to be present and we have to enjoy it. We have to bring that intention to the table. So try it every single day, whether it's making a cup of tea, whether it's folding the laundry, cooking some food and taking in those smells, whether it is meditating, whether it's going for a walk out in nature and listening to the birds and noticing all these different things and senses and, you know, feelings around you, whatever it is. You know, the senses are a massive thing in this. And, you know, take the time to be truly present with someone, like truly be involved and be like, I'm invested in this conversation. Because when our minds are distracted and here, there and everywhere, we're not giving our full energy, we're not giving our best self. And that sucks if you can't give your best self to your loved ones, to your friends, to people around you, to your work colleagues, whatever. Like, you want to give your best self in everything that you do, and the way you can do that is by this intention. And whether that's intention for self-love, intention for self-care, intention for yourself as well is also important. But if you are giving and bringing that intention to yourself, it's then bringing that to the outer experience as well with everybody in your life. So set the intention with me, ironically, set the intention here to stick to this. Bring intention to everything you do in the day, and you will notice how much different you feel, how good you feel, how joyful you feel, and how enjoyable even the littlest and smallest things in life can be, which, when you think about it, the small things are the big things in life anyway. But when we cultivate that intention and purposefulness and presentness with the small things, the big things have that too, because we're bringing that intention and we're bringing that present moment, that presentness, to be truly present into everything that we do, which happens by softening, which happens by surrendering. And the softening and surrendering can be quite natural when you're doing these things. So follow these steps, journal upon what it means to soften, how the word soften feels to you, and how you can bring that and invite that into your day. How can you set that intention for softening and surrendering and flowing in the present moment today? Ask yourself that, and you can do that through affirmations. Intention can be very much affirmations. You could write yourself an affirmation for the day, but more than anything, it's presentness. It's bringing that intention to the table, bringing it into your practice, bringing it into every single little thing that you do. So whether you have an intention that you write in the morning, bring that into everything. Give even making your cup of tea your full attention, because you deserve your full attention and your cup of tea deserves your full attention too. So, you know, look at those distractions. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're in that overwhelmed state of that masculine controlling energy, your life's gonna change. You're gonna love this. You're gonna have fun with this. And that's the most important part. Having fun always, because as we know, that is always the ultimate attractor and manifesting energy that we need in life for abundance and happiness. So I hope this video has helped you guys, and I hope it has sparked some intention, joy, and purposefulness into your day, which you can go and action and have fun with now. So thank you so much guys for watching my video. I appreciate all your views and likes. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, because I would love to see you again soon. And don't forget, you can join my free Law of Attraction support group over on Facebook, where you can join myself and other like-minded souls, where we talk all things Law of Attraction and spirituality. And the link for that is is in the description box. And don't forget to leave me a comment on your thoughts on intention and purposefulness and presentness, because I would love to hear your thoughts on this and bring the conversation to the table. Let's bring the intention to the table, because I love reading your comments and I respond to them all. And I hope you have a great week, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you all in my next video, which will be next week. Lots of love, guys.